Hi everyone, and welcome back to another interview over here at Behind That Suit. And joining me today, we have Mr. L.Teez, a fantastic individual who, unlike most of the people who've come through, I have vivid memories of a very young version of this fellow at a bunch of shows back in the day under a different moniker, performing up on stage back, so I actually watched him back there, right? So you got to see this man when he was young. And then if you go look at what this guy is up to today, he is a true representation of Montreal, in finesse, right? So the man over here, and again, there's going to be links in descriptions for you to go check all the stuff and learn it all, whatever. The man has this mastery of the jazz format of, the hip-hop, straight out of that New York kind of style of, fucking fusion-y jazz kind of shit. The way he bounces on the beat, the poetic nature of his sound. It's something truly delightful. So
Thank you,
I just
bro.
thought...
Appreciate those kind of words, man.
Well, it's just straight up. You gotta tell the people you're dope, right? Otherwise, why are they gonna listen, you know? But on top of that, from an accolades front, right? Just because, again, we're trying to show y'all that Montreal is fucking cool. From an accolades front, the dude is toured all over the Europes and whatnot. I think he said Asia as well.
Yeah. Japan and Korea, Tokyo.
All sorts of places. He's got the footage to back it up.
Yeah.
I've seen him live multiple times, but I saw him live recently in Montreal. I think it was 2 years ago, maybe.
Really?
I don't remember. Whenever your last project came out, I went to the
release
party for that.
Nice.
So and then even at the smallest venue, he's still fucking rocking it like it's a fucking stadium. He's still fucking putting the energy in, just regardless of the circumstances. For me, it's like a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So I mean, from what I saw in another interview, the man is born in France.
Yes.
And then came over here at a certain point. What point was that?
I was 4.
So basically grew up here.
For sure.
Which part was it Montreal?
So the first 2 years I lived in Brossard with my grandparents. Then we moved to the Plateau. And then I lived there for basically most of my life. I lived 1 year on Ridgewood in Côte des Neiges, but yeah, I just been on the Plateau my whole life.
So you're still there now?
Yeah, I'm on Sherbrooke and Park, and it's a bit more downtown than the Plateau though. But
to me, over on the western side of shit, it's all the fucking Plateau area. It's to me, the Plateau is 7 things, and it's just this big area that I bear. I know it's not. I know the divisions. We've all seen those fucking maps, but it's all out of it.
Yeah.
But that's fresh. So. You got into music young. What brought you into music?
So I attended a fine arts school called FACE in elementary. It's a pretty big school in Montreal, and that's where I started music because if you go there as a student in elementary, you're forced to do music. You have a bunch of music classes and chant classes and drama classes. It's kind of got my base from there, and then I kind of I grew up a bit. I left FACE has high school as well, but I left in elementary, and then but around 14 when I was in high school I started rapping and stuff. So
what got you to the point where you're like, I'm gonna start rapping?
Honestly, I was in this group home, and the thing is, the group home, they let you go to school and shit, but it was all the way in the West Island. So I had to take the bus, bro, and it was just a long bus ride to school and back. And at that point, I was just listening to so much hip hop, and I don't know, it was just it was a weird period of my time because it was my first time in alternative schools as well. I was young, bro. I was 14. I don't even kind of remember those times, but I just remember being in the bus and riding, just listening to so much hip hop, and then at a point. I was listening to, there's 2 specific albums I was listening to. There was the Lupe Fiasco, The Cool, and Nas's Stillmatic.
Okay.
And so these 2 albums, bro, I was just bumping so fucking hard. I know them by heart. And then at a point, man, we would go to bed early in this group home, around 9 or 9:30 or whatever. It was really early. I started, this is the first time, I just started, writing, Yeah.
Fair. So basically, you could say that Lupe and Nas are big influences on your
Lupe and Nas are huge influences. But I was thinking, yeah, so that's when I started, because then I started freestyling a bit after, but like that was the first attempts at rap were me writing there. And yeah, Lupe and Fiasco and Nas are just, you know, are just to me like so big on my influences. Yeah.
So when you started rapping, were you solo? Because I know when I encountered you, you were part of a little clique, a collective.
Yeah. So yeah, when I started rapping, it was solo, but you know, you're in high school and you have friends, and yeah, we had a little group. You know, we had a little group with some guys that are still making music today. With Chrome, the battle rapper, you know, he's doing his thing. 1990V.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing his thing.
He just dropped the track, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's still making really good music. Jay Ditas, Jay Fernandez. Yeah, man. Back in the day, you know, Buds. Anu Buds.
Anu Buds is fantastic. Yeah. We got an interview with him on this channel. You should check it out. We went on, talked about his story. But that guy's a big pillar in terms of production and all of that stuff.
Shout out to Anu Buds. That's my dude.
So a fun fact about these guys is they would perform at these bars, and they would bring all their boys, and they would just fucking fill these places, man. Yeah. Like, these guys would come through, and they would bring like 40 people to these like venues. Yeah. I mean, I was
CFC on St. Hubert.
Gosh, that's one of the best.
That was the best one, because then there was some other ones. They weren't that great, but the best ones was the CFC, because that was a dope venue too, man. Like with the little brick, man. Like that was tight.
It like packed 100 people, but that 100 people looked like fucking. It just looked fucking way more than that when you were there. Yeah. But it was just cool.
We did a couple at Playhouse on Park.
Before I don't know if you were ever there. I was there.
Yeah, those were the first ones.
That's what because we did a little few months before that place got destroyed, where we performed at a few things together, and then just ended up going our separate ways with this. And then that particular place got it was the place that was the strip club that then is no longer. It used to be a strip club, and it had like this fucking weird stage, and then it just got taken out by firebombing, and then it stopped being a venue that anybody could use.
Okay, I didn't know it was a firebombing.
That's what took it out. I don't know a lot of the details.
They were like selling coke out of there. I think I heard that or something like that.
Which led to the end of that play. Okay, so I mean, but I don't know.
That place was grimy though. But yeah, there was also Mika Lounge too on Crescent. Maybe you weren't there.
I haven't been to that one.
But yeah. So
but this is
they were fun, man. Those were fun times.
You were
the
pretty
base,
young,
bro.
Though, right?
I was young, bro. I was 14, 15, 16 performing in bars, man.
Yeah, and then
I was my thing for sure 15. Like that was my first, those laid the foundations for me going touring and stuff. Like, so I think my strong suit is my live performance, because I perform with a band sometimes, and when I tour, I don't perform with bands. It's just that I love the stage, man. So like before getting on stage, I get a little nervous. Everybody gets nervous. If you don't get nervous before going on stage, I don't know, there's something wrong with you, bro. Because you don't really love your shit if you're not like a tiny bit nervous every time. So, but just taking that nervousness and kind of like just. When that nervousness turns into like confidence and like kind of just like this uproar of just like, yo, let me do this performance shit, is like the best feeling, man. Yeah.
No, that's fair. Were you performing the whole time? Because I know we met in 2012. That's my memory. I'm sure you started a bit before that from the math of what I saw online, but. So we met then, and then I know by like 2013, 14, I lost sight of a lot of people. Life moves on. But what happened to you at that point after that little patch of performing? Were you consistent with that?
Not really. I was. I played a lot of soccer, like a lot of soccer, and like that was my shit. So I was really playing soccer or rapping. So around 15, 16, I stopped rapping and I went full out soccer. I was playing in CJEP. I went to Vanier. I played soccer there, and I was playing AAA soccer too outside of school. And and it's around 18, when I was 18, that I decided to get back to really rapping. I decided to get back to rapping because I was still rapping, but like I wasn't putting out music necessarily. So I was 17, 18. And then I had this opportunity in 2016 to go on my first tour. Like there was this girl that from France that I had met at a festival, and her name is Leila. And she just fucking, I spat her some bars, and she's like, well, that shit's crazy. She's like, well, what if I told you that I can book you a show in France and maybe a couple of other shows at the same time? And I'm like, that would be really dope. So once that happened, I'm like, yo, maybe I should start doing this again, because I saw that like this soccer shit was just, it's just, I wasn't down to do more sports. It just was consuming so much of my life, So yeah, and then I went on my first tour in 2016 in France. And ever since then, I haven't stopped, like, for a second. So
yeah. That's crazy. That's like a huge. Like, I had no idea you played soccer like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that must be pretty solid for your ability to actually just be an athlete on stage and have like a high level of energy.
Yeah, and be a competitor, because you have to compete. You're competing at high levels all the time. Like I just, yeah. So, yeah, man. I played in Europe and shit. Like I played a lot of soccer. Like I still watch soccer every day to this day.
So you're saying you've not only rapped in Europe, you've competitively played soccer in Europe. Like, I'm just going to throw it out there that as far as accomplishments, because you're what, 24 now, you think you said?
Yeah, I'm turning 25.
The dude is young, right? And has managed to go across to Europe. I've never fucking been to Europe, right? And he's gone over there and done all this incredible shit. I'm impressed. Duly fucking impressed is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I can understand that music to me is more interesting than soccer, so I totally feel the transition. So how many, was it just like that one festival in France? Was it like a tour the first time you went over?
Yeah, so it was one show. So I was opening for this big French group called Secret Connection and Demi Portion. They're really big in France, and I opened for them, and played in like I did like this show in front of like this youth place, like where kids go after school, kind of like a YMCA type of thing. So I did like a rapping in front of like youths, and I rapped in a bar in Paris with this pretty big. He's this Moroccan singer guy, and he sings like. It's like Moroccan rock a bit, and I got to play with him a bit in Paris at a bar. So that was my first experiences. But then I've been back a lot. I got to play in this really, really famous place called l'Olympia de Paris, and I ended up opening for Earth, Wind and Fire.
It's just kind of crazy.
Yeah,
like you don't expect anybody to actually say those words.
Yeah. So I got to open up for Earth, Wind and Fire in Paris. So a lot of shows over there too.
He actually got to open up for somebody that's fucking really, really cool. I don't know what part of the story that fits in, but the guy got to open up for fucking Black Dot.
Yeah,
Black Star.
I
kept thinking Black Star.
Yeah, I got to open up for Black Star as well. It was like a huge show. That was a huge show. There was like something like 7,000 people. And like what's funny is that like, so I didn't really. I played like right before, so Black Star was like the headline, but it was like a day thing because it was in a festival. It was a really famous festival called Jazz à Vienne, in next to Lyon, but Vienne is the Vienne in France, so it's not Vienne in Austria. But it was just so, and it was in this antiquity. Like old Coliseum style place. That's dope. And yeah, and it was jam packed, bro. It was jam packed. I have some images online, but it was just crazy. And so what I was saying basically is that I ended up playing like right before them. So like there was this band before, they're like playing, banging it out and shit, and then like they had to move the stage and shit, and like while they moved the stage for Black Star, like that's when I did like my little 15-minute gig right there. So
yo, did you get to talk to them and shit?
I got to talk to Talib Kweli, man. Like I had like, so like those in the backstage and shit, and I asked him for a picture, and like I have a picture with him on Instagram. And what's really cool, at the end of my gig, I'm walking downstairs and I see him, and he looks at me And he's like, yo, good shit, man. And like, yo, he's like, good shit. And like, there was, he was with a band. He was with a brass band. And they all looked at me like, yeah, man. They're like, yo, good stuff, man. And like, I'm just like, wow. I'm just like, yo, Talib Kweli's just like, yo, good shit. I'm like, wow.
That must be like mean more than most people.
Yeah, not a lot of people know that actually happened and shit. But yeah, that happened.
That's like incredible. Like, I mean, did you get to like actually talk to him, or was it just like a quick in passing?
No, man, because he was, I think he was there with his family and shit. And like, I was in the green room. I had my own green room, and like I went over kind of to his, and I'm like, yo, I'm opening up for you, and I'm a huge fan. Can I take a picture with you? And I remember him telling me like, not right now. And like it was a bit later before I performed. He's like, yo, like come, you know, like you can take a picture with me. And then I performed, and then after that I performed, and yeah, the picture's online. Maybe I'll.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, maybe I'll show you after.
That's fresh, man. I mean, it's just fresh to be able to have that kind of an experience and to like, just to see it, like just to even see that Talib Kweli is cool enough to remember and be like, yeah, let's do that picture. Like that's all just to me like, I don't know, interesting stuff. Like I would watch like just stories about this myself all the time. So to know that like dudes I know, people that are here, are actually contributing to this bigger picture in the same way. It's just a good experience. So if all this is happening and you're touring Europe and stuff, at what point do you get to doing your first project or the half full EP?
The half full EP came out in November 2018. So you know, everything prior to that. I think I was already starting it. This song, That Jazz, on it. I think that I had That Jazz for a long time. So I think That Jazz was, I was working on that in 2000. I know I played That Jazz on my first tour in 2016.
Right.
So 2016 and up is the half full EP. And
so it took a couple of years to put that together.
Yeah, a couple of years, yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what it is to like create these songs for you. Like, how do you go about doing it?
I really normally work really closely with a. So I have this this way of working that I like to arrange the beats first. So I like to have like the beat kind of done and arranged to a way that I really like it. And then once it's arranged to the way that I like it, I'll then write to it. So I'm kind of like more writing to the music than making music to like me writing type of thing.
I completely get it. I mean, I'm a huge fan of that. I like to get, I'm not so involved in the production because, I don't know. I just never really bothered to. But I like to get completed beats where everything's fucking done and I can picture the song.
Okay.
You know, so like when you describe that, it makes total sense. But when you listen to his production, and I had the pleasure of hearing his new project that isn't yet out. Like we had
the single is out though.
You should check out the single Question. It's fucking fantastic. But just like across the board, you can listen to the detailed nature of the production. Like it is like every second of the track is something that was considered and like blended perfectly to just give like the best experience. So I mean, that's kind of what I'm picturing now, is you sitting there standing over the producer's shoulder being like, no, move it like that, move it like that, make it happen like this.
Yeah, a lot of arrangements go into my music. And then I kind of layer over the vocals over that, you know. So it's kind of like, it makes a mixture of like.
Is it a lot of samples or is it more instruments?
So my first EP, I worked closely with Jay Century actually, which like he's a huge producer now, and I think he had like we had made 4 songs out of 6, and I had 2 other songs sent from 2 other people. But I was just starting at that point, you know. But yeah, so those, I had made beats and gotten 2 beats sent. I didn't make them, but I was there for the production of the beats, and I kind of like pointed him in a direction.
Right.
But this EP actually that's coming out, which is called The Index to Minor Thoughts, it's coming out the 18th of September.
Okay.
And this project are actually all beats that I found online that I bought and rearranged. So what I did is that I kind of like, this is like my digging, kind of like, instead of digging in crates, like I was just online for weeks and weeks just fucking skimming through every like beat on BeatStars, and what I would do normally is that I would do the hashtags, like jazz rap, and then I would find a beat. But I would find the beat, but I would find the producer, because if the beat is good enough, that means that this producer has good stuff on his stuff, And I really normally I listen to the drum patterns, because to me that what makes a good producer. How tight is your song? Is like like your drums have to be on point to be a good producer, and I think like that's what brings your beats to the next level. So as soon as I hear a bit of complexity in the drum patterns, or something kind of catchy, with jazzy chords, I would go on his profile, skim through his beats, and but then what I end up doing is that I end up buying the beat, and I buy this is just for this project that I did this,
all right.
And I would get the beat, but I'll get the stems, right?
Yeah.
And
so just for everyone out there who might not know, that's like each individual sound tracked out as a wave, so that you can manipulate them all.
Exactly. So I would get that and kind of just fucking rearrange it, man. I would rearrange it. We rearranged the beats, and on this EP that I did, we added some live drums.
Okay.
On some songs, we added a trumpet, which is on Questions. It's a live trumpet that wasn't there before. We added that. There's this song called Pain, which we added some guitar solos, and so
you can feel it.
Yeah, so we kind of overdubbed some stuff with some instruments and stuff like that. But ideally, in the future, that I want to have some just live stuff as well.
That's awesome. Honestly, I'm impressed by the level of like interest you put into like each step of the production process, because like I don't know, I guess we're all different.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of artists that are very hands-on, do it all myself. I know some artists that are super hands-off, like just whatever, record, ship it off, I don't care.
Yeah.
So I don't know, to me that kind of stuff is truly fascinating. But I guess when it comes to your projects, it felt like both your albums had kind of themes to them.
EPs.
Sorry, EPs. I mean, technically, like the album is like a catch-all term these days. Now that Spotify has kind of fucking ruined the lines and shit. Anyway, projects.
I wouldn't want you to call it an album, because I'm foreseeing my first album is in the works.
Fair enough.
It's important. An artist's first album is very important.
It is very. I know. I hear
it's like
you.
losing your virginity, man. So that's in the works. But my first two, you were saying about my first two EPs that.
Yeah. So when you got to third base instead, but they seem very themed. Like we reviewed the half full EP, and it kind of had like this calmer vibe. Like it felt very like jazzy Montreal.
I love the review, by the way, man.
I appreciate that. And just even from a tone matter, it just felt chill. It felt like a confidence to it. Like it didn't necessarily. It felt like an intro card. Like, yo, what's up? Yeah. I'm L.Teez. Yeah. I'm from here. Yeah. If you're down to ride, this is the vibe. And that was cool. Don't get me wrong. There are a couple, like honestly, the jazz it just gets stuck in your head. And the hoodie music, I think that's a fucking good one too. Yeah. I think there's both of us have videos too. I might be wrong.
Actually.
And
there's a video to No Name as well, which is in I shoot it in Tokyo. So.
Yeah, which is just fucking fresh. But it's cool because as a guy from Montreal, it's nice to see Montreal in your fucking. It's just nice, okay? And he represents the mountain and shit, and like there's just these little nods where like if you know what the fuck it is. But then I found this project. I listened to the new one. And I realized, like, there just seemed to be this huge growth in terms of the seriousness, I would say. Like, it went from, a little almost boasty to a serious level of awareness of, like, where the world is at and some of the more complex emotions. It felt, and I could be wrong, but almost like a double entendre. Like, you had a personal situation play out or just dealing with the world. Like, it felt like it could be directed at both these things, but, like, from Questions, which I believe starts off the album. It's out, by the way. Yeah. Again, you can check it.
Check it out.
It just has like strong lyrics. Like, these eyes tell the story of a paradox, scared of the truth. These aren't necessarily connected. These were lines that just popped out at me that I wrote down because I ended up, hearing the whole project. I thought we were just gonna talk to Sigurd. I'm like, no, whole project, gotta talk about that. So I didn't write as much down, but like scared of the truth because it's always naked, or then this part does flow, like questions. Are we living a lie? Reflections of ourselves, like are we living to die? How you feeling inside? It's an everyday struggle. I'm just trying to
survive.
Yeah, I wrote the wrong word there, but yeah. So you listen to that and you're like, okay, this is like, well, this is more my shit. This is more like, when I think about reality, especially in the pulse of 2020 with a COVID that fucked up everybody's lives, with the political natures of everything that's going on, like, I feel like you're just tapping into, like, not only what you're probably feeling, but what, like, everybody's really kind of feeling with this open-ended questions and just the feelings of it. So I was like, yo, L.Teez over here has tapped, like, this is that grown man shit, I would say. So, I mean, is that what you were going for, like, in general with this project?
Course, man. So, I mean, this is a super introspective project, and the song Questions, it kind of just kicks it off because, man, what's the thing you do the most every day, I think, is ask questions. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything you do, you just question all the time. You walk around, question. So, questions is like, everybody can relate to that, you know? It's just super relatable, and it's a super, like, in-depth fucking subject, right? Like, I'm sure, like, Greek philosophers have philosophized on what is a question. You know what I mean? So it's there's a lot of meat that you could get into with a subject called questions, and to introduce you to me and to my inner thoughts, I need to introduce you to what I do the most, and those are my questions. You know, questions are what shape you, because your questions are what you value. You know, you question what kind of, like, you value kind of things. Like, why would you question a certain thing? Well, it's because this is you, you know. So the truest form of you are your questions, you know. So that's what I kind of get into when I get super reflective about that, and you know, I kind of use that in a song, and it's like poetic, melodic, kind of jazzy, kind of you know, trippy tone, and yeah, just kind of I set the tone, and it's an intro. There's no hook, so I just kind of ease you into the EP. Yeah.
I mean, while that's true, it's such a heavy topic, because I think the questions you're asking on this track really tap into a lot of, and I mean, this might be whatever, but the base insecurities of trying to find your identity in this world. It's like, and I'm just basing that on what I heard, like, it was relatable. It was like, yo, I mean, I feel like, thank goodness I've reached a point where I finally can maybe move past some of that insecurity where I once felt it. But I, for most of my adult life, felt myself wondering shit like, is the whole point of my life here to die? Even recently, I started thinking about death a lot, you know, like, because what happens? We don't know. Even to this day, we just don't know. Is all that, you know, so, like, when you're listening to this, and especially as somebody, like, who goes to work and is still trying to pull shit off and etc., it's like, man, that was just beautifully done. I think it just shows that a lack of the vanity and the kind of veneer, because a lot of the, let's say, the more pop sphere, I don't want to ever, like, group all of hip-hop into one thing, but on the more pop sphere of what people would typically go, and this is across all genres, it's just so vapid, it's just so empty, it's just like, there's no real depth to it, whereas all the same people making a song about aimless partying, let's say, as an example. Having a song about partying is fine. Aimlessly just doing it all the time maybe is different. Whereas I think everybody's still sitting at home with these types of things going on. Now, I don't know how much we can talk about the rest of the project, because I know it's not out yet. But as it, like, goes on, you just kind of feel like there's the love track. You know, like, there's the track about, you know, trying to, like, I liked Boxed In. That song was fucking dope. There were some great lines on that. Like, stuck in this shit like they constipated. I don't know. For me, I like that shit, because, like, dad joke level already. But you feel like, yo, the bass line on that track, when you hear it, oh my fucking god, when you, like, do that, hit it with the bass, boof, it kicks in, dude, that had me. I'm a bass guy. Like, for the way you feel about the drum patterns, I look at beats and I do that with the bass, and that track, like, it got me. And then as I was listening to, like, the rest of it, it felt like it all kind of expounded in this questioning tone. Like, in the Love Letters track, you're questioning the value of love or relationships and shit. Or, like, in Boston, like, you're almost questioning the nature of the industry and, like, fucking how you fit into stuff and trying to pave your own lane. And, you know, like, all of them kind of had that feel to it. And it was really, like, I just love the cohesiveness of the project, right? And I want to give you the props on that, because albums, and in the case of an EP, it's still like a mini album. They're hard to construct in a way that they're a mixtape is just fucking banging off a bunch of fucking songs. This shit is like, you have to almost listen to it in order to get the full appreciation for where it is. I don't know, the Hold On track, I think that one is there's like stuff out on it. I don't know what's out or not, but that track was fucking gorgeous too. I love the line, shout out to my engineer, it's been a hell of a year. And what I love about that is that, like, in a world where everybody's trying to be like a solo player, you know, just doing it all by, you're like, fuck that, my engineer made me sound good. I put in the fucking work. That's cool though. How are you feeling about this project in terms? Like, are you excited to get this out?
I'm so excited. I'm really excited. I think it's you know, I'm excited, but as an artist, you're also worried. You know, is it gonna get out properly and stuff like that? This normal artist shit.
Right.
But yeah, I'm just excited to share what I do. You know what I mean? And it's been 2 years that I haven't released a project, so, or any music actually. So it's because I was waiting for to be in a proper situation to release new music, you know.
So the first situation for the first project didn't work out after?
No, it was good. So the thing is, like, every project needs to set you up to go somewhere else, you know.
Right.
My first project set me up to tour the world, right? I toured the world. Not huge tours, but, you know, every country I played 4 or 5 shows, you know what I mean? Just little shows here and there, big shows here and there. I hustled because of my first EP, you know, and my second EP set me up where it's not out yet, but, you know, I had the EP set me up to get signed by a label, an independent label, you know. So that's where I'm at now. So, you know, now this EP needs, when it's out, it's gonna set me up to make my album, and then my album is gonna set me up to you know, it has to. You have to, every time you do something, you have to see bigger after, you know, like, and, you know, it's not in the numbers sometimes and stuff like that. It's the little things, you know, that, like, it's just like, oh, you know what? Well, maybe I don't have 20,000 streams on Spotify, but people are interested here. People want me to tour here. People, you know, media people want to interview me, you know. So it's really, so you have to set yourself up. Every project or anything that you do should set yourself up. And I needed to be set up properly for the second project to come out. And I'm in a perfect situation right now for it to come out.
Yo, that is some wisdom. My favorite part of these interviews, honestly, is hearing that kind of stuff, right? That's strategy. That's you looking at the situation and going, why am I doing these projects? What is the purpose? Plus, to wait for the right things to come through, as in to not rush it.
Waiting is so important, man. Sometimes I find, you know, because people tell you need to release music all the time, and I don't know. I just, to me, my truth, honestly, is like, I'm never gonna play the singles game ever. You know, that's just not my thing. I just think that, because at the end of the day, this is art, what you're doing. You know, you have to see it as art, you know? Like, do you ever see, like, an artist, right, in a museum be like, you know what, I'm just gonna make one painting? No, like, this guy puts together an exhibition, you know? There's someone curates it and stuff like that, you know? So I just find that there's it will give so much more to your art to have some type of project with some type of meaning behind it. If you're just releasing one single here, one single there, one single there, what does that really talk about you as, like, you know, like, are you able to formulate something more than just a single song, you know? Are you able to make your music take life upon music? You know what I mean?
I love what you're saying.
Like, visually, artistically, sonically, you know, like, it has to be more than just music. And I think that's what makes people's music attractive. You know what I mean? So I think but that's me. It works for everybody differently. But I think that we remember the best artists for their albums. Who's here saying, like, oh, you know, like, that single was like the single of the year, you know?
Usually when you're being described by that single, they would call you a one-hit wonder in many circumstances. And even if you're not a one-hit wonder, I appreciate what you're saying. Like, I'm a consumer of albums, especially anybody that's watching this channel.
People remember albums, not necessarily singles or singles that come off an album. You know what I mean?
Singles, but people don't remember the artist when it's just a single. So I think that would be the big difference, right? So you might know that track, this thing, individual stuff, like the "Hey Baby" song. I don't know who the fuck sings it. Why? Because I never heard another.
Chris Hurricane, no, I think.
Okay, I think you're actually right. But like, I don't know who sings it really. I couldn't have told you that name.
Yeah.
But I know the "Hey Baby." I know the song, right? Whereas anybody, when you listen to
like
the
a Kendrick Lamar, you know, like this guy is just album based,
or like,
you know.
Even just the Wu-Tangs or all of these dudes. Like, when you actually want to talk about like volume, look at Lil Wayne. People might think Lil Wayne's a singles artist, but that guy has like 40, 50.
All the Carters, even his mixtapes, there's no ceilings, bro. Those are albums, man.
Dedication 6 and 6 Part 2 came out last year, still fucking producing volumes of work. So it's
Drake, though, Drake's pretty good with the singles, I have to give it to him. But that's Drake, though, you know what I mean? He started with mostly his albums, you know, like...
He was an albums artist up until, like, very recently, because even most of his singles were all part of projects. They were all part of a project. They were all part of something. I mean, yes, Drake had a lot of hits on other people's projects, which might make it skewed a bit, but they were still part of things up until the last couple of years when he did like
dropping singles
like the Tootsie fucking slide and shit. Right? That shit was. I mean, he has a nice house.
Yeah,
that's about. I don't remember the song, but. No, that's interesting. I mean, I think you're right about like if you want to be respected and have like a legacy, I think it's actually really important to have a project. If that's what I think makes you stand out compared to maybe other people. Is the fact is, and it's not just like 6 tracks; it's 6 tracks that flow well. So you're kind of like ending up spending more like a half an hour or maybe 25. I don't remember the math, but like whatever it is. Versus just the 2 or 3 minutes. And yeah, maybe there are individual singles, but I think projects kind of give you an opportunity to grow an attachment to the artist, especially if it's engineered correctly, meaning like just track placements and cohesive themes and all of that stuff put together. And then it does become an art piece that is a little bit more than a product.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the other side. The singles game often focuses on algorithmic product kind of tracks where I mean, love him or hate him, but Rick Ross makes a lot of product tracks.
Yeah, but Rick Ross is an album dude, though.
He is?
Yeah.
But he also, I mean...
He drops singles, but they're mostly, like I said, part of album. But I'm saying this...
That's fair. Yeah. That's fair.
I don't know. I feel that a lot of people nowadays just drop singles, I find, you know.
I think a lot of people...
But it's not a bad thing, though, you know. Like I said, everybody has their own recipe. Everything works, like, you know...
A lot of people are starting out now, and they don't necessarily understand, I guess, the bigger sphere of music, right? Like, we were discussing beforehand just the idea of being independent versus being signed to labels and all of these different things. And I don't think a lot of people, when they come in, you drop singles because you're trying to attract attention. Yeah. You have attention. Right?
Not
like,
really. Well, yeah, I mean, I have attention.
Behind the scenes attention.
Yeah, I have attention, you know. But like, I go get that attention through projects. You know what I mean? Like, but I still have so much more work to do. Like, you know what I mean? But still, like, I feel that if you just, you know, once this EP drops, and let's say someone that's never heard of me, right? Listens to the EP and then goes sees the second EP, you know, it's interesting. There's a meat there, you know. There's something to go on.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I mean, do you release the singles beforehand? I mean, you put that out.
So like out of I'm probably gonna have another single drop right before the EP. So like there's 6 songs, drop 2 singles, you know. But I was more saying on like the complete Lucy, like just let me drop this song and just have it there, you know what I mean?
There's never been a point where you just hear this one-off beat that doesn't fit nowhere else that you just gotta do something on?
I haven't done that, but I haven't done that yet, you know. But that's because of my situation, you know, and it's worked out for me. I wouldn't tell necessarily an artist like, hey man, take 2 years to release new music. Like, I'm fortunate to be in good situations. I have a good team around me. I have like you know my manager and just my label people. Like, you know, like patience, you know. Some people don't have that, you know, so sometimes you do need to release songs at a fast pace so it could gain traction. Like I think look at Russ. I think like that's how he got huge, right? He was just putting stuff out on SoundCloud all the time. No,
Russ is like, I think he was still doing projects.
Yeah, he was still doing projects.
I mean, Russ is like, but Russ is like the one in a million, not so much the regular, because that guy's whole career is like an interesting case study in honestly what not to do, but what to do at the exact same time, because he's an interesting guy. But something that I had caught that you had in another interview that I wanted to discuss with you, just because recently I was discussing with this guy Prechen Kobia, who is part of the community thing. I don't know, given your jazz music.
Shout out to community.
Yeah, so he's involved. He's like the guy who put that together. So I was having a conversation with him, and he brought up grants. And you were like, you say you got grants.
A lot of
now,
grants.
I think that this is something that a lot of English artists aren't aware even exist. And
Factor, that's what it's called for you English rappers.
And
apply to Factor.
Is it hard to get that? Like, I don't actually know, because I'll be honest, in light of everything, I'm sometimes just forget to Google easy shit.
Yo, actually, just yesterday I saw Factor. So Factor gave out $20 million. Factor gave out $27 million last year to Canadian artists on $40 million that was demanded. So
they have more money, or no? They
about
year, half man. The people that
I've been more than half. Yeah, I've been more than half. Got it, man. I got a lot of grants. That's why we live in an amazing country. Yeah, you can get a lot of money, but you have to have it done properly. You know, it's not easy, and most of the times at the beginning they'll reject you, but the first times you apply, they know your name because they take every application, and there's a board there's a jury that looks through it. You know, so next time that you apply, maybe someone sees it again, like, oh, you know, like. So yeah, shout out to the Canadian government and the Quebec government with you know, a great fucking system to support its artists, man. Like really.
So basically, a lot of this, you would say, the grants made a huge difference.
Everything is through the grants, bro.
And this is like money to live on. Or?
You could get money to live on. My album it's my first album. I plan to apply for grants that I will have money in the grant to have to eat and shit like that. And people get that all the time. Like, especially in classical music and shit like that, and like jazz and like real musician people and stuff, like they live off these grants and stuff like that. But it's a good thing, man. It's an amazing thing, and we're lucky to have that. But it's true, I do think that people are not aware. There's an amazing grant with Factor. It's called Artist Development, and that's like the first grant that you can get, and it's $2,000, and it's not that hard to get. You just have to, you know, you have to go on the site and you have to fill out the form properly, or there's people that specialize in it. They're called grant writers. You know, you pay them $200. They write the grant for you. You might get it, you might not get it, but you know, if you trust in your making application skills, then do it yourself. But if you want someone that knows the ins and out of the application, that knows like maybe I should think this angle will be a better angle for the jury or some shit like that. So yeah, guys, get your grants. You can get grants at Factor. You can get grants at the Council of Arts of Canada. There's a Council of Arts of Montreal, and there's a Council of Arts of Quebec, and there's Factor as well. And to travel, there's something called Logic. You can travel with those grants too. And yeah, there's a lot of grants.
That's fresh.
Yeah.
So with everything you've done, do you find that you're connected to the local scene, or do you find that you're kind of doing your own thing? Because I mean, I would say some of the stuff you've pulled off is very out of scope for what I would picture as an average Montreal rapper's career.
Yeah. No, I think I'm part of the local scene, you know. I mean, I played the Jazz Fest, right? And
well, that's kind of what I mean. Jazz Fest is big, right? Like that is.
You know, the Jazz Fest is the biggest jazz festival in the world. So
yeah, so that's like we're down here a little bit going, damn, L.Teez is up there on the Jazz Fest stage.
I played Festival Quebec as well.
That's pretty fresh.
Yeah, big festival.
Do you?
They're on the same day as Logic, actually.
That's dope. Do you fuck with a lot of local people?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
That's fresh.
I'm up with the scene. I like Nate Husser. I think he's incredible. I like Zach Zoya as well. I like Mackie Lavender. I like fuck. There's just so many people.
They're really.
I like those people.
I don't think people are actually aware.
Squire. Space Mandela, that guy's good too. He's my boy. I'm gonna send you a shit. You should check it out. It's really good.
That's fresh. Just so that people are aware, there are thousands of rappers in this city. Like, I'm not being hyperbolic there. I'm saying we've tried to track it a little bit.
Really?
Like, I have a mission, man. Part of why I'm doing these interviews is so I can fucking get like a website up that from like back in the old days of the 90s all the way, even the 80s, all the way to today. You know, my favorite year is 2012 and that, because when I fucking start. But basically, I want everything. I want to know everybody, and then I want to be able to track all the albums and the projects. Okay. The singles might be a little bit too fucking much, but at least track who everybody is. And so when we started doing this, there's thousands of fucking people in this scene across, and I'm talking today, let alone like the history of it all. I don't really 1,000% know where I was going with that. I just was curious to know in general, like, how connected you are to it, because I mean, I'm in that position where I'm trying to do what I can to help build up.
No, I mean, I mean, connected. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm connected. I mean, I'm in it. I mean, I live in Montreal and I make music, and you know, I'm in the scene and stuff. You know, I'm always at shows and shit. Yeah, do I perform a lot in the city? I perform on. Yeah, like not as L.Teez, but I go to a lot of like open mics with like jam sessions and shit.
Like which ones? Like
there's an open mic that my friend Leah Kaylee does. She actually is the girl that sings on my 3 songs on my EP, and she hosts an open mic every Monday on Mount Royal, and it's outside. And for now, I've been going there. I'm a huge cypher guy. Cypher jams on Thursdays, the one they used to have. I don't know if you ever been to them with the live music.
Cypher, but I know what it is.
Yeah, I was there every Thursday, you know, because that's where I meet all the musicians and shit. You know, there's a lot of big jams. There's a lot of drummers, bass players, just, you know, and they jam to the music I make too. So I'm definitely always there. So yeah, I'm performing a lot actually. When I perform there, it's mostly freestyles that I kick. So
basically, what you're saying is, you know, maybe don't go down the shows route, but you're heavily involved in more of the music, the community.
Yeah.
And you're fucking around with
people
that
know,
shit.
Yeah, and it's important to be present in the community you're trying to be in. You know, go to shows, go to events. You know, whatever it is. You know, whatever you do in life, like show yourself. You know, so yeah, I know I want to go to live music route more or less. So I'm there, you know. I talk to these musicians. I talk to the keyboard player. I know the bass player. Take down their number, network, like what's good. You know, you guys down for studio jams? I just, yeah, all right, yeah, we're down. So, you know, it's important to. So yes, I'm connected in the scene. To answer your question, I feel very connected.
That's fresh. I'm curious in a lot of ways about how people are building their networks, how people are kind of going about their stuff. Because I think again, that information maybe isn't. I mean, it's out there. But I don't think a lot of us on the artist front talk about it, like maybe as much as we
talk about what the scene,
how to do it, how we're doing things. You know, like not necessarily give up all the fucking secrets, but one of the consistent themes is that be present, make a bunch of friends, network.
That goes for anything that you do in life, you know.
But
whatever you have, if you have a business or some shit, you know, a kickstarting thing, you need a network.
That's you treating your shit like, you know, with the respect it deserves as a business. Because as much as we make art, unfortunately, there is still the business component of making it viable. Yeah. And so I think it's really cool that, you know, within what you're saying, you're able to drop that kind of knowledge about how your story, you know, pulls that off. So what comes like next? So you're gonna put out this next project, and then you're gonna go.
So I got the single out right now. Questions is out on all the platforms. There's a really good video. I don't know if you peeped the video.
I don't think I saw the video yet.
So
for
the
questions.
video is actually off the fucking chains. It's a video that's actually the technology we use that's never been done in a hip hop video. We use 3D points captured on an iPhone 11 actually. and super trippy. You should guys check it out. So it's everywhere, and the EP, the Index to My Inner Thoughts, comes out September 18th.
And if you're watching this after September 18th, it'll be linked below.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's gonna be on the net
Yes.
forever. But after that, right? You're gonna get right away to your album. Because I mean, with COVID, touring and shit's kind of hard. So
Yeah.
does that mean you go right to work again, or are you gonna take a break, or?
No break. I'm actually in the works of, making that happen. But right now is just mostly focused on getting this EP out and making it the best EP possible that I can. And yeah.
I mean, it sounds fresh. Just in case you were, it's fucking solid. Anybody that checks it out, anybody that like, at least appreciates musicology, like the science of it all, will have to appreciate that you got game with it.
If you got soul, you'll
mean,
like my music.
I think
If
you.
you
I
like
think
soul,
you.
you'll
Like
like
I'm like, listen. I listen to a lot of projects, a lot of stuff. I don't know that everybody's gonna like it, but if you fucking love that jazz shit, like that jazz hip hop, like that fucking like every line is coming out like with the fucking, all of that shit. If you love that, it's masterfully done, dude.
Thank you,
it's
thank
like
you.
it makes the city look good. And that to me is like my favorite part of it,
That's
right?
a very cool compliment.
You
Thank
check
you.
it, man. If some of y'all fucking pop and get some millions of views, guys like me have a much easier time climbing up this thing. I'm fucking happy to ride on your success. But, I mean, not to say I don't want to work, but, just we need people. It's because the dude's marketable. That's what I'm trying to say. Do you see yourself like trying to go for like a big major label play, or do you want to stay more on the indie
good.
side?
I'm signed to a label called Hydrophonic, but the bigger label to Hydrophonic is Indica. And if you know anything about the Montreal scene, Indica is a legendary independent label. They do Les Trois Accords.
Okay.
They did Half Moon Run, which is like a huge fucking band, and the guys that started Indica is Grimmskunk, which is a super legendary punk band from Montreal. They did Franklin Electric, they did Busty in the Bass, and they're independent. It's an independent label, so shout out to Indica and Hydrophonic, man. Part of their team is being amazing. Yeah.
So you're happy with your situation?
Oh,
then?
so happy. It's honestly, it's anything. It's what any artist wants, man. Is a support team and an amazing label that gives you freedom, and yeah.
I definitely would love a support team that gives me freedom.
Yeah.
Yes, I would. So I mean, I don't know if every artist, but personally.
But
I
no, the
feel you
play
on
is just to make the best music that I can with the best musicians and the best producers, and to elevate my writing, to elevate my poetry, to gain more knowledge, and just combine that together. Push the boundaries of music. You know what I mean?
So you told me before you love history. So do you love learning in general?
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of learning.
How do you learn? Like, what's your chosen learning method?
I would have to say visuals. I would like to read more. I read, but not as much I would like to. But movies. I'm actually a pretty big film dude too. Actually, a lot of films. Like,
What's your favorite movie?
Hannah and Her Sisters.
I have no idea what that is.
It's a Woody Allen movie.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's my favorite movie. Hannah and Her Sisters. I really like 2001 Space Odyssey.
Okay.
That one is fire too.
Respect. Why?
Man, cause I seen it in IMAX. Bro, the sickest shit in the world, man. It's just, bro, it's poetry in motion, man. Stanley Kubrick just absolutely slayed that shit, man. It's like, wow. Like, the cinematography in it, man, and the sounds, bro, is just next level. There's barely any dialogue in the first fucking 30 to, 40 minutes, too. You're just floating in space, and just... There's that classic shot, too, where he's, in the... He's walking and he's in this spaceship thing. So yeah, that's one of my favorite movies too.
Fresh.
Yeah.
So I have another question I'm trying to ask everybody here.
Uh-huh.
This one is just something I'm going to ask everybody that comes through.
Okay.
What time do you wake up at in the morning?
10.
Okay.
My alarm's on at 10. My girlfriend wakes up before me, so sometimes like I wake up, but I tend to go back to bed. But 10. 10 is I try to wake up at 10.
So do you have like a late bedtime then?
I go to bed late, yeah. Yeah.
That's fair enough.
Well, no, like, I pass out on my couch while I watch TV. So around 1, I'm passing out. And then, like, I sleep 20 minutes on my couch, then I go to bed. So, yeah, so the max on my bed is 2.
That's fair. Yeah. So you're definitely not, like, get up at, like, 6:30 in the morning.
No, but you know what? I worked at the Jean Talon Market for, like, a month and a half, and I had to wake up. I had to be at the market for 6:30, so I did that for a month and a half this summer. So that was pretty cool.
It takes some getting used to.
It takes some getting used. Oh my god, the thing is, me was falling asleep. Yeah, because because before I was before the fucking pandemic and shit, man. I was working in clubs, so man, I'm used to getting home at like 6, 7 in the morning. So me having to falling asleep, like I have to wake up at 6, and like me falling asleep at 12:30 is like not enough sleep. And then you know what? It was the worst because I was just tripping out, and every minute would pass. I'm like, oh, it's a minute less of sleep, and next thing you know, it's 1 o'clock. I have to wake up at 6. That was the worst shit in the world, bro. I was just tripping myself out all the time. But
that's fair.
Yeah, now I'm back on like an artist schedule kind of thing, you know. But I've
you know what I've learned? Artist schedules are fucking everything. Every hour of the day, man.
Yeah.
So I've talked to people at 6 o'clock in the morning, man. I'd say there's more of an age thing here. You get a guy who's 35, I'm up at 6:30, especially if they say the word kids.
Yeah, you know, if they got kids, yeah, for sure.
But even then, I find as we get older, we wake up
Time
earlier.
you wake up at? You look like an early guy.
I became an early guy.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
I was up early, though. You weren't online today. So.
I was up today. I don't go online anymore.
Oh.
So I wake up in the morning. I walk around my apartment. I try to do about 4 kilometers just
inside.
Yeah, I read a book and I walk around because I want to read and I'm trying to lose weight. Like it's fucking.
Okay, why don't you go outside to do that?
Because I can't read.
Outside.
Well, I mean, it's fucking weird to walk around outside reading.
Walking in circles and reading outside.
I mean, say what you will, but I have to.
But around the park, no?
Still, what if it's raining? You're not going outside to read. True. Because if you're forming a habit, you should form a habit you can do any day of the week, right? Okay. So I have an apartment with a loop. My girlfriend hates it, but I go around the apartment and I read my book because it gives me time to read. I was sitting there and I was reading sitting. And then I said, why am I sitting when I could go get some, because I got a Fitbit. You buy a Fitbit, you start thinking about how to add more steps to your life. Anyway, but I started waking up early because I'm not a morning person, and it takes me about 3 hours from the time I wake up to being a person.
Really?
So I needed to be like a person by like 9:30 in the morning. Otherwise, my bosses and shit were like, "You're a negative Nelly," and your attitude and smiles, and because you got to smile at work. I did not know that corporate America had like the requirement of smiling until I started to get into management. And if you can't smile, you're fucked. So you got to be smiling at 9 in the morning and shit. And so that got me up early, but it just got me like curious because I used to be like wake up at like as late as possible. Like my girlfriend gets up at 10 any day she can, as long as there's no work.
10's a good time, I find.
That's my like vacation wake up time. But I'm just curious because I want to one day like maybe make an infographic. The wake up habits of like fucking rappers. Like this is the kind of data that nobody has. Yeah. But it would be fucking to me it's interesting.
Maybe. I do make a schedule though. I try to schedule out my week on my Sunday. Like I'll go on my calendar and like I'll give myself yeah, man.
Time management is a very important fucking thing for success.
Yeah, and just like since I'm not working right now, like I mean I'm working. I'm just not. I don't have like a 9-to-5 job. Right. I'm just working on my music, which is actually amazing because it's the first time that I have all that I do is work on my music.
That sounds like a dream.
Oh my god, bro! And big part of it is because shout out to the government for the fucking CERB and the unemployment, Anyways, we paid our taxes to get that money. So,
well, here's the thing.
But
without the CERB, the entire
economy would go down. Exactly.
We need to be able to buy shit.
Exactly. So, fuck you, Serb haters. Yeah, I see you guys on Facebook. You're so whack hating on Serb. What fucking losers, bro.
I'm fucking blessed
like,
to have.
Oh, you welfare bums. Like, wow, like, bro, you are so ignorant if you think that's like, what it is.
Here's the
bro.
thing: it's like a random lottery if you kept your job or not, right? Like, it was a fucking lottery.
Yeah.
I mean, your industry mattered. Like, listen, my girlfriend lost her job recently. What happened was COVID proved that nobody needs offices anymore, and her main role was to be the person at the office at the door and shit. So they annulled her position because of 6 months of, and then we're actually Google. Thank God she got interviews going good. We might actually be a no Serb people, but the fact is like, yo,
sometimes you need to work though too, just for your mental health, you know.
Well, I mean, listen, if I could afford the pay cut that Serb would be, because it's a fucking pay cut in my life,
yes,
I would.
That's true too.
I would love to be able to just do what you did, but I wouldn't want to abuse
pay a
the
lot
system.
My rent. I live with my girlfriend. Like, we don't live in a huge place, so rent is not that expensive. So $2,000 a month goes far for me.
But $2,000 a month, like, when we thought about it, like, not having that versus having that would have been the difference of fucking everything.
Yeah, man.
Because like,
but the economy would crash if, like, bro, imagine like no one would have money, and then like no one would buy anything. People wouldn't pay rent. Then the rents wouldn't pay the banks, and the banks would go bankrupt.
But
and,
even on the other end of it, that $2,000 means motherfuckers is gonna get a couple of Uber Eatses and things like that.
For sure, bro.
And the people go and criticize that, but without those Uber Eatses, then those jobs that are at those restaurants disappear,
bro.
And a lot of shit. Like,
it's economics 101, bro. It's important.
Like,
but I was saying, so yeah, sorry.
Nah, I know. Go. What we're gonna say.
But so I'm just doing that now, and just the sheer energy that I have, and the ideas that just flow, bro, every day. And like, I don't stay at home no more. I go to a cafe, soup up my fucking headphones, put some jazz, and just fucking man, I'm working on my album, and like I have like 6 pages of research for a pitch, you know. So I'm just saying that, like, I've never had the opportunity to just purely work on my music, and it's a blessing, bro. It is really man, I'm the happiest I've been, because this is literally all I do, and I'm still able to eat, you know. So when I get to the point that when I do start making money on music and I'll be able to eat on it, that's the dream, bro, you know. Like, man, if you can pull off like $3,000 a month, like, let's say you never become famous, right? But you have like a musical career, bro, and you have gigs left and right, and maybe you work at some bars and you do sound engineering sometime. You have like a musician life, and you pull off $2,500 to $3,000. Maybe sometimes you tour more and you make $4,000 as a local like artist musician. That's a good life, man.
Dude, if you're making $3,000, because I'm pulling just over that corporate, like, I can't say exacts, but it's in that range. Dog, if you're making that on music, that's usually after music's expenses. You're fucking set. You don't actually, like, if you're complaining at that like point, some, you know.
Yeah, but then and like that is reachable. You know what I mean? It's, you know, like I know some, but you know, it's easier when you're a musician, right? Than when you're like a lead artist that you don't really play an instrument. You know, like I can't go play at I can't go with bands and play here and there, but the bar collect like $2 every time, or go, you know. But there's still other ways to make money, you know.
Whereas a lot of people may question the power of the internet game, and we're reaching a point where the value of music is depreciated to a point where everything's side hustles. I mean, the truth is, when you talk about just the raw value, the dollar value of music, it's a supply and demand game, and the supply has gone like that, so the demand has gone like that. That's why music doesn't cost as much. It's just kind of what it is. But now, all of a sudden, there's a million ways for you to get merch out. There's a million ways for you to monetize. Like you know, you throw out, let's say, YouTube. Just, that's your IP. Nobody else owns that shit. You start running it, just, you know, like, whatever you do. I'm just as an example. Down the line, you have that avenue now that was created just on a random idea that runs in tandem to whatever. And so, you know, if for people who want to, I guess, just be like a one thing, it's going to be a complicated thing. Now, you're set up maybe to just be the musician thing, and it's gonna pull off, and in your world it's gonna work out. And I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that the facts of it is not everyone is gonna be able to have that, because there is only so
you gotta
many.
get the online presence proper too. You can make a bunch of money online too. So whatever the way it is, you know, I'm basically saying this, man. If you can do what you really like and like you're able to pull off a decent life, man, like do it. You know what I mean? Like whatever it is, it doesn't have to be music. Man, if you like fucking building toy boats, bro.
Dude,
like,
if you like making
you know
toy boats and you don't know how to monetize that, holla at me. I can fucking make you money on toy boats. I would have trouble in music because it's saturated. But if you're making toy boats, dog, your shit's so niche, I can help you. That's what I'm trying to say. No, but that's fucking. You know that if you put a fucking channel of a guy making a toy boat,
he can probably make millions.
He'd fucking get tips. He'd make like $100 a day on motherfuckers on Twitch. Anyway, but that's the point. It's fucking weird like that. I'm watching this girl. She goes live every Tuesday on Facebook, and she puts up a GoFundMe for to finance her next project with a virtual tip jar. I'm like, that's fucking wise. I'm like, why didn't I think of a fucking virtual tip jar? I never thought of that. Well, I mean, I guess I have Patreon, so I thought of a virtual tip jar. But you know what I'm saying? Like, but just the way she did it, like, you know, fucking every Tuesday plugging it. She takes requests, you know. Like, I don't know. The internet's a fascinating thing to me. But you're interesting to me because I don't know that many people that actually did the live show thing so impressively.
Thank you.
So I appreciate the fact that you pulled that off. Like, just because, keep in mind, 9 years, right? That's almost a decade of straight up. Is it 10 now? 10. Sorry, I saw 9. I guess that was last year. 10 years in the game. So we're not talking about a guy who just like walked in one time, threw down your fucking single, or like, you know, you meet somebody. I've been rapping for a couple of years.
10 years.
10 years.
But that's why on the EP, like, I think I have a really good rapping performance on the EP. Like,
That's stellar.
So, but I think you see that, like, I've been rapping for 10 years too, you know.
But I'm also, but even with the moves, I think a good lesson is that, I mean, it took him 6 to 7 years to really, I mean, it took 6 years just to get to, like,
find
France.
myself,
You know, like, even if, it doesn't matter how old you are when you start, there's a good chance that it's going to take that long.
But this is nothing, man. I'm still in the scene considered an emerging artist, man. You know, like, just the other day I was on the radio. They're like, oh, we got the emerging artist block, L.Teez, you know, like, emerging artists. You know, to them I am, you know, but to me, man, I've have fucking 10 years in tours and I'm still an emerging artist, you know what I mean? And I still need to build a bigger fan base. So,
I mean,
you know, it does
mean
the hustle's the hustle, you know what I mean? But I think I'm in the right direction. That's the thing, you know. When I look at what I did and I look at the direction that I'm going musically, conceptually, and just, you know, the reactions, you know, are as many people listening to my music as I would want to? No, not really, but, you know, there's a lot of other positive things to go on. So
I mean, the fact that, in my opinion, the quality of your product is high, marketing is whatever. I don't actually know how much marketing you guys do, I'll be honest. But at the end of the day, how many people listen is often more a question of marketing than the quality of the product. But how long you can stay in the game, that's you have to keep growing.
I gotta get in the game, you know.
I would argue you're in the game. I mean,
I'm in the game. I know I'm in the game, but I don't think certain media people know and stuff like that.
Because that's because motherfuckers, like, you know, the media, and in this case, I'm media a bit too. Yeah, we go look at your online fucking presence, and if I look at your sub count on YouTube and things like that, it doesn't necessarily reflect how impressive you are. That doesn't. And here's something I learned. I have like 15 to 20 monthly fucking listeners on Spotify. And because I only have 15 to 20 monthly listeners, nobody wants to click anything. They go see that number, and they're like, fuck that. But I know that if I paid somebody right now, which I'm going to test, and get that shit up to like 50,000 listeners, you know, pay for a placement.
You could pay for that, huh?
I mean, I don't want to do it
like
on
a farms, like the farms you're saying? Like
no.
Okay,
payment to be on a playlist.
Yeah, but that, even at that, bro, is...
So here's what I don't want to test this. I don't want to do this because I think it's going to work. I'm just into business like that. So let's say I throw some shit at and I get a 5-figure listener count, and then I start throwing that at my colleagues. Are they going to click the button now? And then that's what I'm wondering. Because the thing is a lot of people look at your numbers and just blow it away because they don't care about anything else. So I mean, I appreciate where you're coming from because you and I think are in the same vein of quality and substance and shit.
Of course.
I care about that. But when I think about fans, which is kind of now the other side, the listeners.
But your fans are not your friends, you know that. Like, you
Absolutely.
have to get fans. You have to get people that like that are
your
not
prospects.
Your friends,
so if you look at it from that point of the, because of people that aren't your fan yet, that isn't your friend as a prospect. You know, to get a prospect, sometimes it's challenging if you don't already have numbers. That's what I'm now. Do I think that I can have a career without having a high number count? Fuck yeah. I mean, there's a million ways. Like you said, it's about the little things. I made long-ass album reviews so artists would respect me, not so that people would fucking grow. It worked. And now we're at a point where, but I've just got curious because I started noticing shit. I started noticing how people treat each other based on numbers and shit. And I don't know. That's why I started like just wondering what the benefit of. But regardless of your internet presence, I think that you're an impressive dude, and it's gonna come. It is maybe a matter of doing something a little cheeky. Like I would recommend a vlog to anybody. Just fucking have some weekly shit you do on YouTube. Because why are people gonna subscribe to a YouTube channel? Unless you're dropping track shit regularly, there's no reason to subscribe. You can get the album wherever, you know, check the music. So that you give them a reason to come back. Like I saw, like you know Meyer Clarity.
Yeah.
If you see what he's doing on the stories every day, or whatever, he's going and making an hour of music or whatever, and he's putting that little thing. It's on like day 150 or some bullshit like that. Ever since COVID started, it's been like a daily. So there's just little things that can be done that I think would make people follow like the socials more. But when they do, you have a product, and it's fucking great. Do you have merch?
Working on that.
That'd be fresh.
Yeah, I'm working on that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like at a point where I'm not really sure what else to say, and I don't want to like stretch it forever. I'm sure, and I could like make up topics, but you definitely anytime you want to come back in the future and keep this
man, for sure. Yeah,
because I think you're gonna have a lot of incredible things go down.
I really appreciate that, brother, and you too, man. It was a pleasure to be here. I appreciate what you do. I see the hustle. You know, it's inspiring, bro.
I just
keep doing what you do, bro.
I just like hearing the stories. I mean, to me, it's I'm tired of people saying Montreal ain't got shit going on. Fuck that. Go look at my channel, proof.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, no. So I guess with all that said, I'm gonna do my little outro speech. So thank y'all for watching. Cause end of the day, without y'all, folk, there's no real point to make this stuff. So definitely check out L.Teez's stuff. Links in descriptions. Let us know in the comments what's up. If you ask him questions and shit, he'll either come through in the comments or we'll bring him back and, you know, answer them later on. Not everyone's good at the comments. Either way, tell us what you thought of it. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel for more shit. There's going to be more interviews. Literally is a big day for me. It's my first double interview day. Nice. So I got somebody else coming later on. I don't know which order it comes out, but this is the first one that got recorded today. So yeah, Montreal's got a lot happening. So we got something to say. But special thanks to the patrons: Ismail Gadansi, Chris Pratt, Jonathan Barnes, Linda Williams, DJ Black Hurricanes, and Scribble. They're all dope. They support what we do. I mean, I don't know how they feel about how my like drastic pivot to interviews. They were more into the album reviews, but yeah, we'll keep them coming back for y'all. But anyway, if you like that, I also make music. This is my little plug time. You can check that. I got literally today a track came that I was featured on, so that was fresh. Nice. But yeah, I'm trying to make stuff pop on that front of my life as well. Just, you know, that's just kind of where we're at. So this is my grind. So thank y'all for watching, everybody. Live long and prosper, everyone.